Level 80, the Flames of War. With Lunar Bahamut bound for Paglothan, Graha Tia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow scions. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphanod and be on our way. Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say that Talafaroy have other plans. Paglothan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Terrapin at their head. Well, now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It is good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Your Grace. Marshal Terrapin had made provisions for such an exigency, and I was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the Syndicate, each of whom had voted in favor of intervention. Nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other Alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Paglothan. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. You much children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalja show any signs of tempering. Strange, what primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Zillion and the others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming that is you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. Kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as Her Grace requests. Lest we forget, Ehrenwald and Fordola are in Paglothan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed, to the airship, then. So, greetings, we've been expecting you. But say the word, and we shall depart for Paglothan at once. Paglothan now accessible. Oh, it's a dungeon. New regular duty has been added to Duty Finder and Duty Support. Let's read it. Long had the sweeping plains of Pagothan been home to the nomadic Amalja. Though the herding of livestock keeps them constantly on the move, the permanent settlement of Zolmak forms the seat of power and center of their society. It is there that Tilafaroi would wreak destruction, dispatching a vast host comprised of both imperial soldiers and tempered dragons, with Lunar Bahamut as its head. Even against these heretofore unimagined foes, the Amalja stand strong with the Stenian, recently freed Tiamat, and the Eorzean alliance at their side, and eager to turn the tide. Level 80 Pagothan. Just do duty support.
Victory will be ours!
Our fates are not yet sealed.
I stand ever ready.
Yeah, this will work. Level 80 Pagothan. As seeing vermin, you shall torment my children no longer.
I will not hold back!
Oh, I forgot how slow duty support can be. I mean, but the queue could have been like 12 minutes too, so.
Be gone!
There.
Uh, Yay. Help is here. enough AoEs.
Away with you!
Right. So it doesn't take for forever. Ah. Even the dragon sang, "Glory be to Garlemald." Yay, blow it up. Oh, look.
Together we shall overcome this.
Why are we spread out?
This is going to leave a mark!
Quite get what we're supposed to be doing there, but we survived it. Supposed to go to these. Yeah. Got it. Critical rip. There's a safe spot. There's no safe spot. But you get them all to.
I I shall protect thee.
Well, that fall off.
I will not hold back.
Big looking treasure chest.
What took you so long? The Amalta are in trouble. Let's split up.
Okay. Everything's on cooldown. Exciting new dungeons. No.
The gloves are off.
There.
Gotta kill this thing first, don't I?
All that I have and more
Not
I
that,
bring
this.
to bear.
He's the one that keeps making us have to move.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yay! Alright. We're almost to the second boss. What is this? Oh. Like the fates and Boja. Critical engagement.
This is going to leave a mark.
Okay. One of those.
Just the beginning.
I don't know, it's a nice idea.
Shall protect thee.
Kind of like a tower defense sort of thing. Destroy the core. ran right into him. Didn't even see the thing. Come on, get it. Thought we were gonna have to do another thing. Marathon.
Together we shall overcome this.
Like in the middle of this corridor, I can barely see anything.
This is going to leave a mark.
Dude, big one. Gilded Sea. Cool. Have any control over it? It's just like a loading screen. One more set. Turtle. These are dragons.
going to leave a mark.
Be gone!
Bahamut. Eletherium. Lunar Bahamut. Definitely smaller than the original. Ouch. Okay, guys. Inner nails. We have to target these. It's like avoid them.
I shall protect thee.
Back up. Those look like towers. Gonna dive bomb. Am I supposed to be
Going to
running
leave a
from
mark.
this? Was I supposed to be like running from that? The flare. Twisted Scream.
going to leave a mark.
I didn't stick around for that time.
This is going to leave a mark.
Mark. Play dance. Thought that would do it. Do it. All right. That was fun. I'm not happy. And the rest. King bottom. Children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more. I shall be forever in your debt. By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain, as long as I draw breath. Never again shall the dragons of Mericidia hearken to the lies of the Asians. This I vow. We killed most of them, so...
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well. Long have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice.
You would make peace with Ul'dah, then? We would be proud to call you our allies. Let us put the past behind us.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Garleans who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
time earlier inside the Pagalthon Tower. The missing beast people.
What in Relga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
Get back!
No! What have I done?
It's too late for them! We're leaving, now!
Like a freak.
No! No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together!
While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel, we have dealt his scheme a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. Celebrate I will when we have received word of Arnvald's safe return. Level 80, the Flames of War. Complete. We now enter Pagalthon with a party of NPC avatars. To make use of this feature, open the Trust interface located under Duty in the main menu. Level 80, when the dust settles, Alphinaud is minded to share his account of the events that unfolded in Pagalthon with the Sultana. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave Scions. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the Fronisteri. Your grace, whatever is the matter. Our troops withdrew from Pagalthon. They came upon the 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear the full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by the other. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, your grace. Can you tell us aught of Arnvald's condition, your grace? The wounded scout. Not save that it is grave. The chirurgeons tend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Ziliustinian, would you mind going after Alphinaud? He may need some support from someone other than me. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pagalthon. Come on, then. History, courage, and I know where this place is. This guild. Lagging now. Before Dola. Another one come to see the lad in silver armor. Master Damliot is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Damliot say? Tell me his exact words. Enough, Alphanor, this isn't helping. Let the Chirurgeons do their work. Queen Dola's right there, ask her. But you're right, forgive me. When we said our farewells to Arenvald, I was afraid that something like this might happen, but now that it has, there are a lot of death flags. All we can do is wait.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
Life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
I know, there is nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? We will.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
Brainwashing.
Well, the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling. I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
He'd only tell me where they are, Your Grace. Grand Companies, Your Grace, is that wise?
we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Right then, unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. That includes you, Alphinaud. Arnvald is in good hands here. Of course, he would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire, then, that we might regain our strength and readiness for the coming challenges. All are in agreement, then, I shall let Kryl know what to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Yes, I'll try asking him, and thank you. I shall look forward to it. Comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryl in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinian, and believe it or not, you will join us, won't you? Fine. I was like reluctant to do anything. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Baldesian woman. If I refused, she would only pursue me. Let's get this over with, shall we? Revenants.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time. Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers.
But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige.
We found
I
Val.
only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing, a topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
Talk to me in the Crystarium? No, it was like, yeah, it was like, the end of Heaven's Word, right?
When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the First, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in her judgment.
Yeah.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Indeed, and while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again, will you join us?
Yeah. He's so sad.
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you'll never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace.
Well, does this one meet with your approval? Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, Is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Answer?
Well, not quite what I was expecting, though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thancred's got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do, but when it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Oh, then you lot. More accurately, you won't catch me trading blows with a prime in the near future, but for every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, baths to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. Is where I come in and gladly mind you, it's the least I can do to support the scions who risk life and limb, like poor Ironwald. I wish there was something we could do for him, but we'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. Wouldn't do to have him come back to complete shambles, now would it? But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. Level 80, when the dust settles. Not for naught.